Hey everybody, it's Kyle here. Welcome back to another video. I have to be honest. Today's therapy session was the first therapy session that scared me. And it scared me because, it was something that happened that I wasn't expecting. Nothing like traumatic or anything. I didn't get hurt. But we discovered something that I wasn't necessarily prepared to discover, but that's what happens when you go to physical therapy for one specific issue. Then you start to learn about your body and what's exactly causing your issues. And as you know, or as you may not know if you don't know, I have, or had rather, pain in my left knee. It's gotten a lot better since I've been in physical therapy. I feel since I've been in physical therapy that, my balance has gotten stronger. Like, I feel stronger, and the knee pain is different now. It's more of a stiffness rather than like a stabbing pain. So, it's really improving. It flares up every now and again. Like the other day, I walked on the treadmill for a little bit, and it started to bother me, and I was kind of surprised by it because it hadn't bothered me like that in a while. But if you've watched my last video, you know that they gave me some stretches to do, some extra stretches, and I went into physical therapy super tight today. Like, my muscles were super tight when they were trying to stretch me. It took quite a while to loosen them up, but once they did, they were able to stretch me a little bit farther than they were on Tuesday. So I did see some small improvement, which is what I was really hoping for. But what I wasn't hoping for was discovering a new issue. We were working in on exercising, kicking forward, kicking backward, kicking to the side. And as I'm, trying to keep my balance, stand tall, and hold on to a bar, and I'm kicking forward and everything. And my therapist looks at me, and he's like, hold on a second. And he looks at my hips, because my hips are like this. So my left hip is pushed forward. So instead of being straight, like, I'm like this, cocked to the side. So he grabs my hips and moves them into proper position. And he starts talking to the physical therapy student about potential causes for this. And, everything is good. And I say, well, could this be potentially scoliosis? And at first he's like, I don't know. But then he starts looking at my back. And I've always known there has been a little bit of curvature, but he starts feeling my back, and he's like, there is some curve there. But let me have the head therapist look at you. And that's when I start to get scared, because when it's an issue that the head therapist is brought in to look at, it's not the greatest feeling in the world. It's like, oh boy, like, what is this new thing? Like, what is it? Thankfully, I know the head therapist rather well. She worked with me as a child, and we have a good, relationship in terms of therapy. So she comes over, and she's looking at me from behind. She's looking at my hips, looking at my back. They're all three actually looking at me from behind, and then they're all looking at me from the front, and they're discussing, do you see the way his head is? Do you see the way his hips are forward? And that's, they're looking at me, they're looking at my hips, they're just checking on things. And for about a minute or two, I was like, oh no, this is something that is going to require surgery, or this is something that they can't fix. This is not a therapy issue. This is no longer a therapy issue. For a split second in my head, it was like, I'm here and physical therapy is helping me. But, what if it really is something that can't really be helped with physical therapy, or it's in relation to surgery. So there was a moment where I got really nervous that that was going to be what they were actually, because they're talking amongst themselves. They're not talking to me at this point. They're just discussing potential causes for this, things that they can do. And once they start, they bring it to me, I'm prepared for, Kyle, this is something that needs to be addressed by a surgeon, or this is just something along those lines, along the lines of we and physical therapy can no longer help you. That's what I was prepared for. But when the head therapist turns to me and says, well, she turns to my therapist and says he could work on this, he could work on this, he could work on this, and she's rattling off things to work on. And she turns to me and she says, Christina did this. That's my friend Christina. You've met her before. If Christina can make improvement, I believe that you can too. So when she said that, it kind of really took a weight off of my shoulders, in that she believed that with time and the right exercises and everything, that there is, hope for me. So I have a lot of work ahead of me in terms of strengthening my pelvis, getting it into which will help get it into proper alignment, and finding that right, alignment and stability is another word that she used. I need to stabilize my pelvis. But, with all of the exercises that she rattled off to my therapist, it was they don't believe right now that it isn't something that can't be corrected with PT, which for me is amazing because, as anyone will tell you, surgery is no fun. And yes, I've had surgery in the past. Yes, it was no fun, but I was younger and I was able to bounce back better, But even my last surgery, I didn't bounce back that well. So now at 26, some 15 odd years later, I don't feel that surgery, unless it's absolutely necessary, is really good for me, because I just really want to continue forward momentum, and to hear that, the head therapist believes with the right program of exercises that we can improve my hip strength and alignment and stability. I was just oh, thank God. And my therapist then said, well, we have a lot of work to do. So I'm sure over the weekend they will come up with a plan. I next see them on Tuesday, so it's now Friday. And so by the time you watch this video, I will be in that therapy session working on a plan. So look out for Thursday's video, and I will be discussing most likely how we're going to tackle this new issue. And I will say that this is not really a new issue, but it's an issue that is now an issue. Once I started physical therapy and I corrected some of the things that were bothering me to begin with, it then allowed this current issue to present itself more clearly to my therapist, because I am trying to stand up straighter, and because I walk with arm crutches and he works with me a lot with sitting down, to some extent, he wasn't able to notice it as clearly in the beginning. But now that we've been working and my balance is getting stronger, and we are stepping away from the crutches a little bit more in therapy, and just standing on my own, of course with assistance from safety belts and all that. But now that issue that was a little murky in the beginning is now much more clear. So I'm thankful that as we've been working, I'm glad it's an issue that's presented itself now while I'm still in the thick of therapy. I'm currently scheduled out till the end of December, December 31st. Now, with this new issue and the hip instability and being out of alignment and all that fun stuff, I do believe, I mean, they didn't explicitly tell me this or anything, but I'm going to be in physical therapy for quite a while, in my opinion. Um, and this is probably one of the big reasons that I had knee pain to begin with. Of course, everything is connected, so as we work on one thing that allows a new thing to present itself that was being masked by the previous thing. So, I'm not sure where this therapy journey is going to land me. It's something that we're just going to continue to work on as we go. I'm just really grateful that it's something that we can work on in therapy. And, I'm just, I just see a lot of progress in myself since I've started therapy in October. And, yes, the idea of being in therapy potentially for another 6 months to a year is daunting. But that just goes to show, like, we have work to do and we can get it done. And it's not going to be easy. I'm certain of that, without a doubt. It's not going to be easy. But as the head therapist, Trisha, said to me, if we don't address this now, you're standing crooked. It's only going to get worse. And I'm 26, and I hope to have a rather long, active life. That is my hope. And to know that, like, if we don't address this, that idea of how my life is going to go isn't going to happen. So I'm glad that we have, seen that there's a problem. They're going to come up with a plan of action, and we're going to execute it. And I'm going to throw everything I have. I have been, but, like, this just reinforces that I have to throw in everything I have if I want to lead the life that I envision for myself at 40. That seems weird to say because I'm 26, but in 14 years I want to be strong. I want to be stronger than I am now. And that's all going to happen by working on it now. So, here's to the future. And hopefully, we see good results, and we won't know. And I say 6 months to a year in physical therapy because I just don't know how I'm going to respond to the PT. My friend Christina has been in PT for a year, and she has seen a lot of progress. So that's kind of my baseline, but we are different people, different heights, different weights, so our bodies are going to respond differently. And right now, I just don't know how I'm going to respond, and hopefully it's in a positive direction. Thus far it has been, but you just don't know how quickly things are going to happen. So I just have to buckle my seatbelt and, I'm in for the long haul. So I hope you're going to subscribe to this channel so you can follow me along on this journey, because I feel like it just got ramped up another level. Like, we're battling, I feel, in my opinion, we're battling against scoliosis and just battling against, common things of CP. So, it's possible, it's doable, and I'm going to do my best to do it. And I hope that you will subscribe to stay caught up with all the videos that are going to be coming along this journey. And I post every Tuesday and Thursday, and potentially on Saturdays. In the near future, I hope I have a radio show, the CP Chronicles with Kyle and Christina, that I host on Saturdays with Christina, and that's on Facebook at the CP Chronicles with Kyle and Christina. But we're hoping that to get some new software in the future that allows us to stream not only on Facebook but also on YouTube. So you might see some live streams of that radio show here within the next few weeks, hopefully. But I hope you enjoyed. And again, please give this a thumbs up. If you did, let me know in the comments down below your experiences. If you've had scoliosis, if you've had physical therapy for whatever reason, how you've enjoyed it, how you handled it. Don't forget to share this with your friends, and I will see you next time.